All those poets on all those worlds who spoke of war as such an unsightly thing, they never stood here.
Hello everyone, and welcome to another movie review by Centipede Geek. Today I'm going to talk about a Christmas horror film. This film is actually a remake, a film by the name of Silent Night. Like I said, this film is a remake. It's directed by a man by the name of Stephen C. Miller, who's known for doing a film by the name of Automatron Transfusion. It's a very loose remake, should I say, of a 1984 film by the name of Silent Night, Deadly Night. This film just came out on DVD December 4th, of the year of 2012. Like I said, very, very, very loose remake. I've seen the original, and there's only a few key scenes that are similar. Plot-wise, though, very different. Not in a bad way, though. Anyways, let's get to the plot of the film titled Silent Night. It's pretty much a very simple plot. We have a serial killer dressed up as Santa Claus, and he goes around killing people. This film stars Malcolm McDowell, Jamie King, Donald Logue, and Ellen Wong. And Malcolm McDowell plays a cop, Jamie King plays a cop, and Malcolm McDowell's character is sort of the leader cop, and they go around trying to look for Santa Claus, trying to kill him. And Santa Claus is trying to kill victims. Anyways, that's a very simple plot. That's the plot of the rated R film titled Silent Night. Just so you guys know, I really enjoyed this movie. Nothing bad to say about it at all. Let me compare it to the original. You know, the original is a lot different. Silent Night, Deadly Night is a lot different than the 2012 remake titled Silent Night. And the reason I say that is because, look at them. Not just from the ways they're shot, but just the way the events take place. Silent Night, Deadly Night is more of almost a character study. It's a classic, Christmas horror film made in the 80s, but no one even starts dying in the original Silent Night, Deadly Night, till like the last 30 or 40 minutes. That's when people starts dying, because it's pretty much about this guy's parents who got killed by Santa Claus, and he is sent to a boarding school full of nuns, and he's strapped to a bed. And as he grows up, he starts to become haunted and traumatized by the events that happened to his parents. The remake is nothing like that. And the remake is nothing like that. In the original, I'm gonna give a few little spoilers away, about the original. Anyways, in the original, he ends up becoming what the killer was. He ends up, dressing up and killing everyone within the grocery store he worked at, and it kind of turns into a slasher film. But Silent Night, the movie, it starts off with, you don't really get to know the guy under the mask. You don't really get to know the guy under the mask. He starts off killing people. And he kills people throughout the movie. You don't really get to know the guy underneath the mask. It's not a bad thing though, because the movie's more of a slasher film. And I would have to say, Silent Night, the remake in 2012, is definitely one of the better remakes I've seen for the past few years. It was better than the Friday the 13th remake. It was better than the Nightmare on Elm Street remake. I didn't hate either one of those remakes. But Silent Night, the remake, wasn't actually too bad. It had some good kill scenes. It had a good plot. Had a nice little twist ending. So overall, Silent Night was really cool. He doesn't just use an axe like he did in the original. He uses like a scythe like a garden scythe at one scene. He uses like a wood chipper. He uses a flamethrower. He uses one scene, he uses like these silver brass knuckles that say ho ho ho, and he literally punches the guy to death. So, overall, Silent Night's just a great film. I really enjoyed it. It has that sort of classic vibe to it, just a good slasher film, a good slasher remake. Plenty of blood in there, plenty of just profanity and nudity, just to please all the horror fans out there. Nothing's wrong with Silent Night. I give Silent Night a solid 10 out of 10 because I really enjoyed it. I've been waiting for this film for a while now. As soon as I found out that it was getting remade, I went ahead and checked out the original. Really liked it. If I was to compare which one I liked more, I think it's about the same relatively because, I mean, they're both really good. They're both really different. Like I said, this is a very, very, very loose remake. I mean, if you want to see what the original's like, go watch it. It's a really cool kind of 80s slasher film. Uh, a little goofy at parts. I don't think it's too goofy. I mean, it's an 80s film. I really like the original. I don't think it's too goofy. Some people might. I don't personally. Just kind of a cool Santa Claus movie. This one I will say is a lot more, probably a lot more serious. But it doesn't take its concept too seriously. You can tell that the whole time that the director was having fun. He's like, oh, let's throw a flamethrower in his hand and just make it and have fun. I will say this film's shot in a great way. There's a few scenes where Santa Claus uses like a taser and he wraps Christmas lights around a guy's head. Sorry if I'm giving too much away, but I really enjoyed it. Anyways, he uses a taser and the entire camera does like this shaking thing, and it does it, I'd say, about 2 or 3 times in the movie where the entire camera just shakes, and haven't really seen that too often. So shot-wise, Stephen C. Miller seems to have found something. He seems to have found a certain style. Automatron Transfusion was kind of just a really low-budget zombie movie. It was cool, but definitely nowhere as near as cool as Silent Night. Stephen C. Miller seems to have found a certain style with the shaking and just the lighting. I mean, this movie, it looks brilliant. The lighting is just cool. Seeing the Christmas lights, and when Santa Claus walks down in the basement at one scene towards the beginning, all you see is his red suit. So I think Stephen C. Miller really has something working here. There's a scene where there's like characters on fire, and they're like spinning, and he has like a cool camera angles and just a cool style, and I'm really curious to see what Stephen C. Miller is going to do next. I believe his next film, let me see what it is real quick. Let me look it up on IMDb. Give me a quick second. His next film, I believe, is titled, it doesn't say. It looks like he did a film called Under the Bed also, about a creature under the bed. I don't think it's been released yet. Maybe that's his next film. Anyways, I really enjoyed Silent Night. Just a really cool remake of an old 80s slasher film. This is a slasher film too. You want to see some cool blood. You want to see nudity, profanity, guts. You want to see Malcolm McDowell just act ridiculous and he's kind of a mean guy in this movie, but I think he's a great guy in this movie. Jamie King from Heart of Dixie is also in it. So you want to, and also from Mother's Day. So you want to see a good film with some good actors in it? Go check out Silent Night, the remake. Anyways, that's my review for the Christmas horror film starring Santa Claus titled Silent Night. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe to the page below, and I will see you guys later with another movie review by Centipede Geek.